What's up guys, it's Max here with another woodworking video, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make this super cool rustic wooden American flag. Let's get started. Alright guys, so we're starting out with 7 of these 1x2 by 8 foot furring strips, and we're going to cut 13 pieces at 37 inches. Alright guys, next up I got this 8 foot 1x4, and I'm going to cut 4 pieces at 18 3/4 inches. Alright guys, so I got all my stripes cut and I got my backer pieces cut. If you don't want to buy a 1x4 for your backers, you can always just use your cut-off pieces from your 1x2s. Alright guys, so now that we got everything cut, I'm going to go ahead and add the distressed look to everything. And to do that, I'm going to be using my angle grinder with a cuts all shaping disc. I have the extreme coarse version. I can go ahead and link this in the description, and if you use the link, you'll get a discount on these. They are made in the USA as well, so super cool to support Made in America. If you don't want to buy one of these, you could also use one of these grinding flap discs, but it's going to be a lot slower. And the look that I'm kind of going to be going for is something like this. And make sure you're wearing protective safety gear at all times. Alright guys, so I went ahead and got everything laid out, and I smoothed out the union area just a little bit, just so that'll make it a little bit easier to do our stars. And then I got a few scrap pieces here, and I'm going to add a few of these on some of my white stripes, and I just did these with the miter saw. So I'm just going to throw a few of these randomly on the white stripes. Alright guys, one more thing that I'm going to do real quick is I'm going to go ahead on these upper 7 stripes where my union's going to be. I'm going to mark out 14 3/4 on each of these, and I'm going to go ahead and cut a groove along those lines, and that will be my divider between my union and my stripes. Alright guys, next up we can go ahead and get these things torched. Alright guys, so I went ahead and got everything torched. I tried to go a little bit lighter on the white stripes, just torch a little bit here and there. Obviously I went dark on where I have these cuts. And then the red stripes I tried to go a little darker overall. It's a little bit of a different burn style than what I typically do, but we'll see how it turns out. And then obviously in the union, I went a little bit darker just to make that blue up here a little darker. But next up we're going to go ahead and stain. I got crimson for my red, denim blue for my blue. These are both Minwax clear tint base solid color stains, and I'll just be using some staining rags, and let's go ahead get these stained up. And I'm obviously not going to be staining the white stripes, so I'll just move those to the side. For the red and blue transition, I'm just going to be really careful on that seam and just stain either side separately and try not get any into the cut. And then I'll make sure I stain inside of these edges in case everything doesn't line up perfectly. I'll go ahead and stain the very edges and also stain the bottom and the very top. Alright guys, so I went ahead and got everything stained and gave it a little bit of time to dry. Next up, I'm going to go ahead and just torch over my red and blue a little bit extra, just to give it a little bit of a darker look. Obviously this is optional, so you can do it, or if you like the way it looks now, then you can keep it just like that. All right guys, so we're all done with the staining and torching. Next up, we're gonna go ahead and flip everything over onto its face so that we can get it glued and nailed together. All right, so I'm just gonna try and get everything nice and flat and square. And then I got my clamps, so I'll go ahead and clamp it. And then I got my backer pieces, and I'm just gonna put an inch off of either side, and then I'll put 2 that are just split between those 2. It doesn't matter a whole lot where exactly these ones go. And the reason I like to use these wider boards is I can get just a few nails spread out more, whereas using the 1x2, I mean, the 1x2, I'm sure it works just fine, but these ones just give me a little more peace of mind that it's not going to separate. And then before I nail those, I'm just going to put some glue down on my backer before I set it down. And for nailing, I got a 16 gauge brad nailer with 1 1/4 inch nails. All right guys, we got it all glued and nailed up. While we got it flipped over on its back, I'm going to quickly throw my hangers on it. And for this, I'm just going to measure down. I just got these large sawtooth hangers. I just got them in this giant bulk pack off Amazon. I think it comes with like 100, and it's only like $10, so it's kind of nice. Just so I don't have to keep ordering sets of them. And for these, I'll just measure down 1.5 inches from the top, and I'll just screw one on either side of my 1x4s. All right guys, one more thing while I got it flipped over. I'm gonna spray a coat of the sealer on the back just to seal everything up. I'm actually gonna be using this one for the face, just to try it out, see how it looks. But this one is more expensive than this one, so I'm just gonna use this one on the back side, and I'll use that other one on the face. But obviously you can use whatever kind of sealer you want. All right guys, got that all sealed up and gave it a little bit of time to dry. Now I'll get this flipped over. And next up is the fun part, and that would be the stars. So I got my stencil here. I'll go ahead and link an individual stencil, and I can go ahead and link a kit depending on if you feel like you're gonna wanna do more sizes of these or if you only wanna just get the one. So what I'm gonna be doing is, first of all, make sure your stencil is oriented in the right position so that your stars are pointing up. I'm gonna go ahead and tape this in place. I'm gonna go through and trace them all out. Once they're traced out, I'm gonna take my Dremel. I got a Dremel 3000 with a flex shaft. And then I'll be using a 105 carving tip to outline the stars and a 106 carving tip to carve out the middles. And this is a little bit time consuming, but I think it's the best way to do the stars, especially with this kind of style where you have more of a rough carved look on the rest of the flag. I think this will be the best look, but if you don't want to carve them and if you don't have a Dremel, there's also wooden star cutouts that you can order on Amazon. And those you can just set down the stencil and you'll set them inside and you'll glue and pin nail them. I've done that on a few of my other videos. Most recently would be the palette flag video I did. So if you want to know how to do the stars like that, you can check that video out. But I'm going to go ahead and carve mine. So let's get to work. Alright guys, so I'm all finished up with the stars. That took me just over an hour. And I'm going to quickly give the stars just a light torching just to match kind of the rest of this. Obviously this is optional. If you like them a little bit cleaner, that's totally fine too. But I'm going to give them a little bit of a torch. And then I'm going to give this face a nice good coat of sealer, and then we'll let that dry, and that'll be it. Alright guys, so that's it for this one. Let me know what you guys think about it in the comments. If you guys have any suggestions or recommendations on how to make anything better, I'd love to hear it. I'll go ahead and link everything that I use down in the description. I'll also go ahead and link my Instagram if anybody wants to send me a picture of a build. I would love to see them. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a like and subscribe. That would help me out a lot. Thank you guys so much for watching, and good luck with your projects.